It's the second day of the working week. Welcome to the AM News. My name is Kwesi, Schandorf. Let's start with the latest on illegal mining, where President Akufo-Addo is asking the Attorney General to impose the highest penalty on Aisha Juan if she's found guilty. Aisha Juan, who was deported in 2018, was rearrested last week in the Ashanti region. She has been charged with the sale and purchase of minerals without valid license and mining without license. President Akufo-Addo has been speaking at the ongoing bar conferencing hall in the Volta region.
Entrenched media freedom, deepened attachment to the rule of law, probity and accountability, respect for individual liberties, human rights, the principles of democratic accountability and social justice, and created an environment in which government and regulatory policies attempt to enhance rather than inhibit or frustrate trade, commerce, and investments. May I, learned colleagues, assure you of my full support of the Attorney General in his determination to prosecute Aisha Juan and her collaborators, who apparently insist on flouting our laws against galamsey and illegal mining. I expect, if they are found guilty, that the courts will apply the full rigor of the new amended Act 995, which has increased substantially the punishment for breaches of the law.
Still on illegal mining, District Chief Executive of Elembele, Kwesi Bonzo, says he is not perturbed by what is happening to him in his fight against illegal small-scale mining. He says this would rather urge him on to intensify his fight against the menace. Mr. Bonzo explains that he would be the last person to sabotage President Akufo-Addo in fighting galamsey.
How do you feel about this arrest?
Sad. Sad because it shouldn't have happened the way it happened. It was so avoidable. Why do I say so? I was chairman of Medisec, who was himself under investigation for missing excavators. So once I got wind of the excavators moving out of my district, instinctively, I knew I needed to take reasonable steps to have evidence. First, to confirm whether it's indeed one of the missing excavators which was being transported. And how could I have done that? I could only do that by taking pictures and videos. And this was a moving vehicle. So I had to go take videos and pictures. That's all I did. I never obstructed the police in any way, as was claimed in the police statement. It was only a video that I took. The first point of the video was just after Ankobra, where I took the video myself in my car, and then I stopped my car, went to the other side to get the details of the excavator. That's all my interest. The whole action lasted for just 1 minute, 6 seconds. So at that point that the police decided that they should arrest me. So I had to run into my car to move to the nearest town. Okay. Because this was in the middle of nowhere. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. They were very armed. There was no confrontation. I mean, why would I even go and confront an armed policemen? So there was no confrontation. Even at the point of my arrest, I didn't resist. Except that it was so dramatic, they put handcuffs. And I was saying, you don't need to handcuff me to arrest me. For heaven's sake, I am a DC who is performing his legitimate duties. So if for whatever it is, the police feel obstructed, for whatever it is, and want to arrest me, they could have easily even invited me. I would have made in any case, I was already under police self-cognizance bail because I had been arrested earlier on this same excavator issue. So it's unfortunate and it's sad. It's really
Some Ghanaians who are yet to get their Ghana cards want authorities to set up more registration centers. This call comes in the wake of a raft of sanctions imposed on mobile users by the National Communications Authority. Joseph Akable was at the Elwak Stadium Registration Center and reports many are still without the Ghana cards required to register their SIM cards.
We are suffering too much. The young, the old, whoever, we are all suffering here. We are just talking. Because if you say something, they say that computer is slow.
We are praying we get it today because we have to leave our works and then come and sit here since morning. And then you go back again without not getting your card. You don't even know when you come back here again for your card. So we are believing we all get our cards today so that we can go in peace.
Looks of hope and despair. For some, it's an opportunity to make friends while whiling away time in this long wait. Different stories, but the same concern.
We are coming for our card, our Ghana card.
Does that mean that you've registered already, and when did you register?
I think the beginning of the year, probably March there. But when I came, they told me I have an issue with the card, white paper something. So they took the card, and then they told me they'll call me back for the card. So they called me. Then when I came for the card, you can see there is a queue here. And then sometimes they don't just go according to the queue. There are people that will come protocol. They have to enter, and then there is misunderstanding. And then sometimes they give the cards to us. When we take them, it becomes invalid. You can't use it again. So you have to return the card again for them to work on it. And then it takes some time before you get to them again.
So it means that you've not been able to register your SIM?
No. And then they blocked my SIM too. And then you know that in Ghana, most of our works are on phone. You have to call a customer, talk to the person. Somebody has to send you money. And the network is not working. So I think we are believing that they should do something about it. Because it's not like people are not willing to do the card. But just that the process takes too long for you to get your card. So if they are taking our SIMs from working, it's going to affect a lot of people.
So they gave me a day to come. I went, came back, still not done. And they gave me a number to call. I called several times, no one was answering. So I came today for it again, and then I was told I have to join the queue again for my card. I've been here, this is my 4th time being here.
She said her number had been blocked. Is that the case for you as well?
Yes, me too. So I'm not able to make any call.
They want government to help them by ensuring that many registration centers are opened.
We're very much frustrated. You come here 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock. They'll come and give you a whole lot of instructions. Do this, do that. If you don't do this, we can't do anything. I was here last month. They said I should go and gazette my name. For a whole 5 weeks, I went at this place, Accra. Today I went for it. I managed to reach here before 8 o'clock, and I'm still here. They said they are coming to take the elderly people to go and do it for them. Still, up till now, we are here.
Oh, gigantic problem. I came to join the queue where I was almost at the point of registering my card. And they told me that ordinary paper, they said because the person didn't write his name on it, I have to come and join this line again. And you can imagine all this. You can imagine all this, that somebody will leave your work, your daily production, and then come and sit in a queue like this. You see, wasting precious time. We are talking about digitization. Why can't they, develop proper means of which this registration can be easily done?
This is the situation here at Airworks Sports Stadium, where many continue to wait in anxiety, expecting that the process will get smoother. Some, for many months, they keep coming in here hoping to get their Ghana cards. For JoyNews, my name is Joseph Akable.
Let's return to the Volta region, where some fishermen are having a torrid time accessing Premix 4 to power their fishing boats. They say the situation is forcing them to cut down on the number of trips they embark on daily, thereby reducing the quantity of their catch. They want government to put in strict measures to curb Premix 4 diversion. Correspondent Ivy Setoji reports.
A visit to Voja Beach in the Keta municipality saw a lot of fisher folks going about their normal duties, but have been complaining about the issues they face in their fishing activities. A boat owner with over 100 workers, Kojo Terry, said he's unable to get enough Premix fuel and also have to mostly mix petrol with diesel, which is very expensive. He asked that authorities do something about their situation so every fisherman can have access to the Premix fuel, which is subsidized by government.
And my company name is Discover Fishing Company. I have the company Fishing Canoe 1116. And we used to suffer a lot because of the premise fuel for fishing. Though the Keta MC have tried a lot for me to approach the chief fishermen to help me with premise fuel 140 pieces of yellow jerry can. But that one is not helping me at all because the canoe, they always take sometimes 7 or 8 in a day because of the distance of the fish working. So I used to suffer, and then if that one finish, I used to go for the petrol with engine oil to mix it before we use. So in a week we use about 80 to 85 pounds. If the fish work in a short distance, we use about 30 pieces, 40 pieces in a week. So that one is not helping me at all the fishing. And I employ people, about 130 people as men in working for this fishing working. Apologizing to government to help us, not me alone, because the way I'm suffering for the premise, the same way my people are suffering because of the premise. Though my own is too west, but I have to use my other colleagues because we are all working together as a fisherman in Foja or all over the landing beaches from Anyangwe to Aflau.
Some other fisher folks have also been speaking with Joy News.
Discover Kenya Kodoteri le Ajido le Foja. Anya mare ka ba marke manyan ka ba wona ibang ba domo veta awe ba na yire landing beach arobe ojami ha ogboy moduganu ke mleba AMC bubunato gamagava fia Kodoteri ateren aro discover terrain alba abia ku khairewe ba iba petronyao ofram na landing beach arobe ojami ha ogba ta MC ya na monpopo yopu fiao na onya ba o no pekperen pla nviare aka hama ava we ba veve se galiko ko ikaba opufia o nya ba o mo ruru ba yodrina.
Staying with this development, some metropolitan, municipal and district chief executives in the coastal areas of the Volta region have been warned to stop interfering in the sale of premix fuel. The warning came after all the 32 chief fishermen met at the pumping station to deliberate on issues affecting the coastal areas and possible ways to have them resolved. Ivy Setoji again.
Some chief fishermen in the southern sector of the Volta region have warned some MMDCEs to stop interfering in the sale of premix fuel in the coastal areas. The warning came after all the 32 chief fishermen met at the pumping station to deliberate on issues affecting the coastal areas and the possible ways to have them resolved. A fight broke after a disagreement between the two parties on how best to make sure that the fuel is sold only to the beneficiaries. In an interview with one of the leaders, Ogbi Emmanuel Anumu Tete said some MMDCs have for some years interfered and are making business with the premix fuel meant to help fishermen in the southern Volta and have warned that they stay clear of the sale of the fuel.
MC, DC, o do motora kama po mo adama ami manyam. Wo maro global fiaba mi ayo we don nani. Avo coordinator la mi ashi. Leka onye bo wo we bonani dogana. Da na uma go ba pon la taparo. Ami hama vana. Mi gbanya mu kata mi ro asheji. Enya coordinator nto ha ngbeglo ha. Ni na naga mi anya. Akona mi.
A boat owner and member of the National Committee, Vance Koku Adeje, also had this to say on a press release by the committee.
Net owner and a member of the Ghana National Canoe Fishermen's Council, a national executive committee member. Recently, we have some issues bedeviling our fisheries activities, and the council at the Volta Regional Chapter has the following as a press release. Press release issued by GNCFC Volta. It has become necessary to bring to the attention of fisheries stakeholders and the general public that Ghana National Canoe Fishermen Council has resolved to institute and implement monitoring and surveillance team towards equal distribution of premise fuel at the various landing beaches. It is much pleasure of the GMCLC Volta chapter to extend their warmest greetings to all, especially the fishers at the coast, in the fisheries fraternity. In the first place, the council, as the mother of all fishers and fisheries associations, is poised to complain about few anomalies in the fisheries sector. On this very note, it is about the sale and distribution of the premise fuel to the council members. Upon deliberations by all chief fishermen and some net owners at Adina in the Ketu South municipality in the Volta region, under the leadership of Mr. Seth Abochi.
Residents of Kwadaso in the Ashanti region want support to complete a fire station to help reduce the risk of losing lives and property. A self-help project initiated by the community has stalled due to lack of funding. The residents want government intervention to activate the fire station.
The self-help project was initiated in 2018 by the Assembly member for Kwadaso North Electoral Area, Fosu Ajaman. The yet-to-be-completed project shares a wall with the Central Military Command and is close to Prempeh College. The Assembly member says he acquired a loan to start the project. He also received support from relatives and philanthropists in the community. The local assembly helped with roofing sheets, but the emergency service project has suffered financial constraints.
That's the pressing need in our community. And as the saying goes, leaders are meant to solve societal problems. So I also saw it as a challenge to put up something which will be more beneficial to the community and other communities at large. If there is an outbreak of fire, by the time the fire calls in, the property might have been lost, and there is no way you can retrieve any of the property. They only come in to save the fire from spreading to other facility or other property. So we saw the need to put up a fire service station on our own, so that in case of any fire outbreak, they come and curtail the problem.
The structure has been roofed and fixed with doors and louver windows. The fire station needs furniture and furnishing, but half of the building is engulfed in weeds. Residents say completion of the project would be of great benefit to them. The fire tender at Konfanoche caters for us all. There are about 5 communities in this area. So when the project is completed, it would rather reduce their burden. Just 2 months ago, a metallic container caught fire, but if the project had been completed, the fire could have been doused. The nearest fire station at the enclave is the one at Konfanoche Hospital. Acting Ashanti Regional Fire Commander Henry Giwa says the absence of the fire stations in the Kwadaso municipality and adjoining district increases response time to emergencies.
As far as Kwadaso, you know the vicinity is very far away from Konfanoche. So normally it increases our response time. But when this one is completed, it's going to really assist us in reducing our response time significantly, so that we'll be able to get to the fire scene as early as possible and be able to rescue and fight the fires as expected.
The Assembly member, Fosu Ajaman, is hopeful the Kwadaso Municipal Assembly will intervene after officially writing for support.
When it got to the completion stage, It's there that I realized that it's much capital intensive. And there are also other responsibilities for me to cater for. So I saw the need to call in, to bring in the assembly to come and take over the project. So now as I speak, the assembly has taken over the project.
Ewuku Malik's report for JoyNews.
That's all for the news. My name is Kwesi Schandorf. I live in the company of Benjamin Akakpo and Mapito CBD.